Hi, Hickory fifth graders. So you're going to see this big old chart. And back in the day when I taught middle school, this was something that we used all the time, and it's called the periodic table of elements. And what this periodic table of elements is, it tells us like tons of chemistry stories. Like it tells us, oh my gosh, there's this thing called boron in the world, or oh my gosh, there's a thing called hydrogen or oxygen in the world. So it really does tell us a bunch of information, but it really does help with the chemistry that we have been talking about. So we saw that we had potassium, and I'm trying to find it here on the table, but I think my picture is being covered. And that stands as K on our periodic table. Who knows why? It's so weird, even though it starts with a P, that it's K when so many of our other letters correspond. And then iodide, which is iodine. And what we did was we added something to that. Do you guys remember what that is? Well, it's hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. Might look very similar to one of our most abundant materials here on Earth, but water. And when we're writing really fancy chemical equations, and ladies and gents, you're going to learn this next year in 6th grade, we put what's called a yield sign. That's the same thing as when you're doing math with your teachers. It means equals. So we said, oh my gosh, we added the potassium, we added the hydrogen peroxide, and what happened? Well, did we create a whole new substance? We talked about it through our observations, but we sure did. We created oxygen. Remember the little fire that I lit? And we created water. Now, I wasn't about to drink that elephant toothpaste, but it sure was there. And then we just have the potassium iodide all by itself. Still in there. That's why you don't want to drink it. What's really crazy is this has a fancy name called a catalyst. I'll tell you about that later. Or actually, you'll learn about it in 6th grade.